The commanders are teleporting into the field. And this is, guys, the Dunes of Arracis. And, well, I guess these are the dunes. We are sitting on a 92 balance and 2 teams. I will first start with the team of mythologists. That is team 1. And, well, this is mythologist, a Seraphim guy. He's starting a land factory and queued 4 maxes after that. We're going to his teammate Cardmaster, the UEF, sitting on a purple color, building a land factory, going for 4 maxes, and then is Hydro, I think. The lowest rated player, for team 1, those rated player for team 1, I must say, is Neogun with a green color. He is going for his Hydro after his first max. Then we have Aractimus Prime, and also a Seraphim player. He got his land factory 4 maxes and is going for his Hydro. Then the air player for team 1 is Veloz Chi, if I spell it or speak it out correctly. He has built his land factory 4 maxes, he's going for his Hydro, and after that 3 T1 pigeons. And I think these were the 5 guys from team 1. Then let's go to the other team, it's team 2. I'm beginning with the lowest rated player for today. I can't pronounce his name, it's CSTRKR16. I don't know if you have to speak the letters like separately or after each other. I'll try it after each other. It's Sisterker. Let's just call him CS, it's a little less intrusive. So he is building his second land factory. He has all his maxes and is building 4 power generators. And he's already sending some land scouts forward. The next guy from team 2 is Legend Lore. He's already walking to the front with his Aeon Commander. He's building 4 land factories here and is starting a QE with T1 power. And the air player from team 2 is Bolsonaro. I think this is the Brazilian dictator. And well, I hope he's very nice in this game for the other team. So here we have 4 mass extractors. He has a land factory already and a air factory, and is building a lot of T1 power. And then we're going to Alucard, our Seraphim player for team 2. He's got a land factory, he's upgrading already his mass extractor to T2 and is building like 8 or 10 T1 power. And then the last one for today, it's Icom, our highest rated player. He's already walking to the front, he's almost in the middle, has all his core maxes, he's upgrading one, has paused it though, because he is building a transport with his air factories, so assisting it with his NGs, and I think he will use it to drop some NGs towards the middle, or maybe, you know, this map has so many hydros in the middle and in the sides. So Mythologist has put a Cellen here, very sneaky Cellen, has put the radar on, or the stealth, see? So the other team can't use it. If you're new here, a nice but sneaky trick is to put a Cellen on a Hydro or on a Max, and if an NG, you know, is like, has queued up these things, the NG can't build it, so that's what happens sometimes. It's a sneaky trick, but it's a nice trick. But he put it just besides the Hydro just to see what's coming. So some tanks for Cardmaster are already killing an NG from Ecolard, but his team, or I mean his commander, is near the NG, so it doesn't matter that much. What's more painful though is the killing of NGs which are extending. So what would be bad, for instance, for Mythologist here, if this NG would die, or, you know, well, he got this maxes, but killing expanding NGs is also killing APM. And that's what players are trying to do with raids or with bombers. This is a bomber, so let's see what this APM killer will do. Legend Lore says, "Wake up, boy." Maybe he's referring to the bomber that's coming in. Not sure what he will hit, but we'll find out. Well, he killed nothing, and now 2 anti-air guns are killing the bomber before he releases another bomb. And he did kill an NG, so... But I think CS won't worry about that. Most of the front commanders have reached the middle now. Legend Lore is building a max and getting a good force here, which is now actually being bombed by Veloci's T1 bomber. Sounds really Italian, don't you think, Veloci? Veloci. It's Veloci. And I'm bombing your units. But actually he don't has AA here, it's a little bit back. Just retreating a bit. And the guys in the middle, CS and Guardmaster, are exchanging some shots. Some Maxis, Mantis are dying. As is a Max which Guardmaster just got. Still, these Hydros in the middle are not being built yet. I'm sure one of these players will go for them in a while. If you get one, you spare like building 5 T1 power generators. So if you get 2, you don't have to build, you don't have to build 10. That saves a lot of mass, especially in the beginning. And now Erectimus Prime is actually over the middle. He has driven Legend Lore back a bit. I'm not sure why. Does he have... Legend Lore didn't lose any HP, maybe. Erectimus Prime has... Maybe he has an upgrade, and that's it. He has a gun upgrade. So that must have scared Legend Lore off. I accidentally put the game slider, the speed slider, a little bit back. I thought, man, why is this game moving so slow? So he is he's getting himself quite some T1 spam, and now Erectimus Prime has to be careful not to overextend here. He does have gun, but this is quite some T1 PD. T1 spam in combination with a commander, even if it's not upgraded. And his teammates are frightened for him, so they ping. Erectimus Prime immediately sends his army here, and look at this! Guardmaster is being sandwiched by a combined army of purple and red, and he loses health rapidly. He has 1,000 left. Oh man, he bows out in like 8 minutes. The first one, Guardmaster from Team 2, Team 1, bows out. 1 vs 2 got sandwiched there, and Neogun was too late to help him out. Oh wait, it's actually Guardmaster and Neogun were with 2 against Echolard, so Echolard must have had a lot of spam. He's down to 4k, but I don't see any air units. Let's see how they are doing. Well, there's not much going on, except that Legend Lore still has more spam here, so Erectimus Prime has a gun. So they will be fighting for now. Neogun is facing against the army of CS and Echolard combined. That's quite some spam, and he's losing health rapidly. He's on 6k now, and he is pulling in his own tanks, those light Auroras with much range but little HP against those strong Mantis. And Neogun is back to 1k 1.5. Light artillery from Accolard are hitting Newcomb's gun. He has the range, so he can kill them. But he has to retreat really fast. Some mantis from CS are still tickling away at his health, and he has got 200 health left, and then he gets a vet. That's so good for him. That was like... oh man, that was so close. On the other side of the map, Legend Lore has lost like 7k health, sitting on 4.5. He's upgrading now his gun. He's lost a lot of spam, but Rectimus Prime has lost even more. He has got HP, he has got a gun, but he couldn't continue like this, so he retreats. Accolard is on a nano repair. He needs to because he lost so much health against fighting with Cardmaster. What we see here actually, it's Icom, who I just saw doing an upgrade, or some upgrades. Let's see what he has. He has the gun, he has the double gun, he has quite some spam, and his opponent, that's T2, so his opponent got access to T2. Mythologist, let's see if he has gun himself. I don't think so, else he would push, I guess. Nope, he doesn't have gun. And he does have some spam, but Icom does have more. So let's take a look at the factories. One T1 factory, but look at this, he has built them near the front. Nice adjacency bonus. Here another one, which he's upgrading to... No, he's not upgrading it, he already has access to T2 land. So he has gone T2 with his forces. And since Mythologist has access to T2 on his comm, I guess he doesn't have a T2 land factory. Actually, he does also, so he's double access to T2. That must be why he has less units. And he has built his land factories also adjacent to the mass extractor, so a lot of you will know this, but if you're new here, if you build it close to the mass extractor, you can see this kind of cables, and they will provide the land factory with some mass bonus. So for instance, this one, you see it costs 4 mass, 0 mass to min 4, minus 4 mass to build, and this one 1 less, so minus 3, and that's thanks to the adjacency bonus. But the difference between these two players is that he has access to, you know, the spam at the front, and he doesn't. So if his reinforcements line get well, broken up, he doesn't get reinforcements here. It's nice to see the different builds. Icom sending some scouts to the front to see what's going on. There's a little raid from Accolard, but doesn't get done much, since there are Bolshevas near the front now for Mythologists. Let's see how much T2 units they have. Some Mythologist has like 3. He has quite some artilleries and 14 tanks. He's building 6 more land factories now. Curious if he can support that. But Icom, he has access to... He's also got missile launchers, I think. These are missile launchers, yes they are. A lot of T1 tanks. 70 actually, that's a lot more. So he's not building T2 tanks, Icom, he's just building missile launchers to kill these point defenses. And Mythologist is building TMDs, but you know, the problem with defenses, you can't, you know, obviously you can't move them, so what I would do is build some T2 tanks maybe, or T2 T1 army and just go around. Well, Mythologist is putting a lot of effort in T1 tanks and T2 tanks himself, so he's building Ilshivas. And ICOM says what's better is just to build a lot of missile launchers and just overrule these TMDs. You build enough missile launchers, the TMD defenders can't handle it. So, and now Ecklard is helping him. Ecklard has access to nano repair, so he can get some. He can lose some HP. It's regenerated so fast for him now. And ICOM is also going to the front. He has gun, remember. He will lose maybe some of his missile launchers if he is not careful. Actually, he lost only one. His ICOM is putting his spam there. Neogun is actually, for a 900 rated player, doing quite good. As is CS. Well, they're facing each other, but CS is now sending his army here to contend with those Mantis from blue and then pulling them back as he sees that Neogun is sending his spam in. And then Neogun discovers that CS has built 3 or 4, I mean 6, 7 point defenses here. He's building some tactical missile launchers, wondering if he has already sent one. No, I think he didn't. Oh, look at this, nice attack from Arracis Prime. He had driven back Legend Lore all the way. Legend Lore has lost almost all his spam, and Arracis Prime also, but Arracis Prime didn't lose any health. How is that possible? And this is why he has nano repair, and obviously Legend Lore doesn't, and this is a problem for him. He estimated that he would go the same way, and now he just couldn't contend with that nano and he dies. So minute 16, our first ejection from the other team. Legend Lore bows out and an open space is created on this ridge for team 2. Oh, and we see a strat from Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro sent a strat, build it, send it here. He's going for a strat run. He kills another mass extractor. What would be nice to put a bomb or two here. No, just a ground attack. You're killing more mass with the ground attack, or more buildings, because of the area of effect or area of damage. Not sure how it's called. But still, he's killing a lot of mass extractors. But a SAM is built by Veloci, and the bomber goes down. Bolsonaro is still airlocking Veloci, so Veloci can't build any SF, but they will retreat soon in the face of that, losing SF thanks to that SAM. And now the open space that Legend Lore left is being filled by Arracis Prime. Oh, look at this. ICOM has driven Mythologist all the way back up onto the ridge, trying to defend this, and he's building artillery installations. Oh, it would be nice to build some T2PD here. It's just, you can't shoot it from here, I guess, or yeah, maybe, not sure. But it's a nice way to defend. But he needs TMD now, a lot of TMD, because remember ICOM built like 10 or 15 missile launchers, and Mythologist will need a lot of TMD for that. If he would have been Aeon, maybe would have needed like 3 or 2, maybe. Even 1 would do a lot of good. And the PD for CS are, well, he has got so many PD, but it's shooting at the ground. I guess because of the elevation where the valley where the tanks were sitting on, but now they actually do hit the T2 tanks, the assault tanks. And Eklard is joining Neogun's army. But I mean, CS come to kill Neogun's army, which is quite a, you know, big T1, T2 army. And Bolsonaro has built another bomber. Rectimus Prime is calling it out. The bomber has been sent back to deal with the spam, I guess, which is getting less by the minute. All the T2 tanks are gone, only T1 spam is left. He's actually assisting something with the bomber. I'm not sure what. That must be a mistake, a misclick. Lotchi tries to kill the bomber, and actually he does with 3 ASF. Goes down. Now the tactical missile launchers from CS are under attack, and what is he doing with it? He's trying to TML the upgrading com for Erectimus Prime, and one hits Erectimus Prime, who's halfway a splash gun. Oh, he has to cancel it. That is so expensive. He has to cancel it. He will be very sorry for himself now, I guess. ICOM has retreated his army to the left. He thought in the face of this army here, this little army, that would be good to go left, and now Neogun has been severed from his lifeline, his reinforcements and his base. Siege tanks from Ekelard are joining the fight, and this is becoming dangerous, very dangerous for Neogun. He has a gun, he has a shield, but T3 siege tanks, I hope he has access for him to overcharge. Does he have energy storage? I think he doesn't. I don't see. Oh, here. I see energy storage, but he doesn't have a lot of power. 1000. Could you overcharge him? He is on 900 HP, 600, and he's gone. Got killed by those siege tanks who live another day. ICOM spam, ICOM's army gets killed. And now a T3 bomber is killing the Ilshivas, which Rectimus Prime has built. Rectimus Prime is pulling his com towards the middle of the map, also trying to overcharge these siege tanks, I think. He has nano, remember, so imagine if this com had gotten splash also. That would be a very big beast of a commander. He's a big now already, with that big rucksack. So in the meantime, Bolsonaro has gotten a big ASF force compared to Lotchi. He has 4 ASF, but it's not enough to get this ASF force out of the way, of course. ICOM is now in solid possession of this side of the map. There's just some T1 spam from Veloci, who has also gone into the T1 spam phase, trying to drive ICOM back. Veloci has built a quite nice, was building a quite nice air grid though. Let's see what Bolsonaro is doing. He's just assisting one factory with a lot of engineers. That's also a way to do it. Sometimes I prefer to just build one factory and assist it with a lot of NGs. I mean, it saves some space. That's just, but I do see it a lot, building grids. So let me know in the comments what you prefer or what you think is best to do, or what are the advantages and disadvantages of building a grid versus just building one factory and assisting them with a lot of build power? Let me know. Alright, so he's built another strategic bomber. I think he might be going for another bomb run. There are no SAMs here, so shields are down. You could kill some maxes here, like, you know, this adjacency bonus max would be a good target. If this one gets down, building spam and T2 for Mythologist would be a little harder, a little more expensive. The com of Arracis is being moved to the back. His base collapses in the side of the siege tank. I mean his expansion. Engineers hastily erecting point defenses, but I don't think they will hold against these siege tanks. Bolsonaro is still defending his bomber against the ASF that Veloci had, and he has lost another 4 or 5. And Mythologist actually built like 8 or 7 fighter bombers trying to defend. He shot a scout. Yeah, or in this case he should have used, I think, the Ctrl-Alt-Shift-G combination, or Ctrl-Shift-G combination. Just select like 4 or 6 targets and then hit the combination, and the bombs will be spread across the army. But well, one Nata bomb is not enough to kill a heart, so then again, strong flag in the mix, so the Natas were gone before he could say Nata. And slowly the expansion by the siege tank push from Ecolard and the bomber run from Bolsonaro, the expansion from White is almost gone, except for this little oasis. And Gray's base, Mythologist's base, is gone, and he also bows out. It says Ctrl K, but he has been killed by Icom, I think. The army is dead. These were the hearts. And now the base of Mythologist has been torn to shreds. Mobile artillery from Icom is sent to the middle, but that must be a misclick, I think. And now Veloci sent a single bomber towards this point here. I don't know why. Got killed off very fast by the SF force from Bolsonaro. So let's see how they are doing eco-wise. Team 1 is absolutely on the low side of the mass. 200 mass versus almost 4.5 from Team 2. But she says GG. He does have some more ASF now, Veloci, but still can't do much. Sonero still has the Air Force. Oh, look at these things here, these instructions. Bolsonaro sees the ASF, and there's another air fight. Veloci's fighting for his life, but gets overwhelmed. And sooner all his ASF are gone. Somebody instructed his team to reclaim the base. But they don't have time for that. Look at this. They have to defend against the harps that are coming in. I do see a clump of engineers here. What are they doing? And they are building a Yota. and some lightning tanks, which they desperately need. These lightning tanks are so strong AA. So if they build a like 5 or 6 or maybe even 10 ASF, I mean of these lightning tanks, and escort the Yota with it, they could do some damage, but well, Veloci needs to live for that, so they gotta kill those Harbingers. ICOM has built a massive T1 Air Force. He's still sitting on it. Most of them are without fuel now. Necklard is also building a Yota, so this will be interesting. Bolsonaro has made 3 strategic bombers and is sending them to the front, trying to take advantage of his air advantage. Veloci has made another 10 ASF and again he loses his 3 Myrmidons, which are killing a lot of ASF of Bolsonaro, but he has so much compared to Veloci that it doesn't matter. Veloci has lost all his core maxes, so he can't build any more ASF. Look at this. Really slow. And 3 bombs hit the SAMs. And Veloci just can't rebuild this. He doesn't have the mass. He's sitting on 10 mass. So he's sending some NGs, trying to rebuild it, but man, these are T1 NGs, so maybe he has lost. Oh, he's got one. But it's over here. 3 actually. They're building SAMs, but look, he doesn't have the mass, so he can't get them done. So he's reclaiming the old ones. Still, it's going very slowly. And now Team 1 is only fighting on the plateau. The air grid from Veloci is being bombed to shreds. His energy is down. He has 2 power generators left, but these are on low health. In the meantime, Erectimus Prime is building a little army complete with shield generators and T3 AA and siege tanks. And the Yota is done. So I guess they will send it together with this army to the front. Collard gets sneaky mobile artillery group onto the left and is killing this mass extractor together with the siege tank who has 200 HP left. He has almost full veterancy. Taking some shots at the big dome. Then is killed off by a lightning tank. Legend Lore says, save the bomber for the chicken. And little tank groups together with the Yota are now fighting with ICOM's army. These missile launchers are still sending missiles that way, but they will be killed off very soon. Excuse me. He's also erecting some T2 point defenses, sending a Harbinger to the front. And the Yota is more interested in walking past it and going to the base here. I don't think they know that Aquilard has also been building one. So let's see if they scouted it. Now they do, now they know. There are a few experimentals built actually late in the game like this, I think. Only Ecolard has built one. I maybe expected ICOM to build a GC or something. He has so much eco compared to the other players that it wouldn't hurt. And actually he's building one, so he's almost finished it. That's a nice shot. Beautiful graphics for a game that is from 2009. And now team 1 only has one chicken against a red chicken and a GC, which I think maybe... Yeah, I thought he would go there, but he's actually sending it back in case of the white chicken, which might survive. He doesn't want the chicken dying in the base, but Bolsonaro is sending 3 bombers, taking care of chickens, and the white chicken dies. Bombs fall into the white army, kills some team, and Rectimus Prime is defeated. It says by ICOM. I'm not sure which killed him. Don't know what that was. If you know, please tell me. Didn't see any tanks or something. And Vlochi is also controlcade because he was left with his only self. And well, that was the game. So guys, I hope you liked it. I did. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like for more replay review goodness, and I will see you next time.